Hello and welcome to the Sanctuary, a safe space to speak from the heart. I'm your host, Israel, and my guest today is, oh my God, what? Like, you do so many things, actually, Jen. She's a mom, she's a stand-up paddleboard tour guide, nature lover, venture seeker, outdoor ambassador, and like, she's always outside, even in the cold, with her baby. Jenn Currie, thanks for coming to the Sanctuary today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, how did you get into like being such an outside person?
I think because my dad is a birder. So he was the president of the Nova Scotia Bird Society for quite a while, and he's always been a member of the society. So he was always out looking for rare birds, and I would always tote along. He always had me outside fishing and always going out for hikes. But so it started super young. But then when I met my current partner, Chris, he is the co-founder of A4 Adventure. And
They're so cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he kind of made me even more. So camping wasn't necessarily a thing we did growing up, maybe a handful of times, but now it's our favorite thing to do. So
Yeah, okay. Okay. Explain that one to me. I'm like, I'm gonna leave the comfort of my house. Four walls, really nice windows, is warm. I can send it, the temperature to whatever I want to. And then I'm going to leave my comfortable bed with my nice TV. And then I'm going to go out into the wilderness and talk me through this. Why?
Just the fresh air and the sounds of nature all around you. You're disconnecting from society and connecting to nature, and it's a recharge, it's a reset, and it's the best thing ever. I promise you would like it.
I don't know. The night it's scary to me. Well, but the good thing is I sleep really easily. So, but like you kind of have to hike to where you camp. So it's, you're already tired. But then you have to set up the tent. That thing takes a lot of skill to do.
It doesn't take a lot of skill to do.
I'm serious though.
I promise it doesn't. Once you do it one time or two times, it's easy peasy. It's intimidating. I agree.
Yeah, it is. But I saw this thing online where you just kind of throw it and then it sets itself up. Mm-hmm. But I don't think that one is really like, if it's on a windy night, it'll just blow away. You kind of have to stake it and then oh man, yeah. I tried it at the beach once and I was like, oh man, this is so much work. But like once you can set it up, you feel so accomplished. I don't know, I felt like I did something really cool when I set it up.
That's kind of, yeah, when you go camping, it's a bit of a mission. You go and hike somewhere that you really want to stay, and then you get to pick your view that you get to have your dinner next to, and you get to sleep next to, and wake up and go perch yourself wherever and look. It's just the best.
Yeah.
But yeah. You have to work.
You know what I found out the other day, and I might be wrong, but a friend of mine was telling me that they woke up to like book camping and then it was all booked. Like, I didn't know you have to go like book for camping and stuff. For
Parks Canada, yeah. Any of the provincial and national parks, you have to go online and book.
But like, will they have like specific plots or what's that?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. So a lot of people, they do it every year, so they know the sites they want. So the booking lines are swamped because everyone wants a site and some want a specific site.
Oh. So let's go back a bit though. You'd go out with your dad. Do you have siblings?
I am an only child.
Oh, so it was just you. Okay.
Yep.
So you go out with your dad to do birding. Like, did you ever pick up the birding thing, or was it just outside being outside that you picked up from him?
I think I picked up just wildlife in general. I'm not a good birder. I'm not a good anything specific, but I love everything and I'm very interested in it. So yeah. I use an app called Inaturalist, and if I
what does it do?
You can take a picture of something that you see, whether it's a plant or a butterfly or whatever you see, and you can ask for suggestions. And there's a community of nature lovers that give you the
Mm.
answers, and it also documents your finding, so it
Oh,
helps.
nice.
Yeah.
Is it free?
Yep.
Oh, nice. Okay,
Yep.
cool. Cause like you seem like it might be expensive. So, yeah, because like to me, I think that birding thing is just like so, a skill I can't pick up. Cause like I'd be going out where like so I have a family member and they know all these birds and like they know them from the sound and like from the color of the feather and to me they all look alike. I'm like, that's a blah 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 warbler blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, cool. I don't know what you're talking about.
I know. It gets confusing, and males and female, they look different.
Oh,
The male is usually the brighter in color one, and the female is,
oh.
I know.
Okay,
So
so
that's the type of things I've learned with my dad, because even if you look at a mallard duck, for example, a male mallard is beautiful and very colorful and has the
yeah,
green
yeah.
head, but a female mallard is just brown with some beigey feathers in there.
Man, isn't that something, man? You know, it's weird that the animals like they don't like. I mean, okay, I'm just gonna say it. Human beings is the reverse in a way. Like like the female identifying place is like the shiny,
Dazzling.
more
Hmm.
colorful, take more time to look, to look attractive or something. But then guys are like, oh man, I'll just put on my t-shirt and whatever. But like in the animal kingdom is the reverse. I didn't know that. You know what? I didn't know that till this moment because I don't really watch documentaries and stuff. Plus, I don't go out much. But like, so you do these things with your dad, and then like, did you start doing it on your own?
Yes. So, yeah, I mean, birding adventures started when I was super young, and dad, I didn't always want to because he would want to go super early in the morning because that's the best time to find birds. And when you're young, you're just, nah, I don't want to go hang out with my dad. But as I got older, the more I loved it. And yeah, when we go out now, we have binoculars that we go try and check out. But for me, birding, I don't always identify. I'll look at it closely and then go home and try and remember what it looked like, to look it up and see what it was.
Okay.
So it is
And then
still, it's fun.
yeah, yeah. I mean, but on the other hand, you get to do all these hikes. And then when did it go from okay, I'm doing this thing with my dad, the birding thing, but more like I'm doing outdoor stuff for myself?
Um, I mean, I think probably in my teens, all of my friends, we would always be outside biking around our neighborhood and going for walks. So, I mean, even that is still adventurous. Like when you're a teen and just getting outside, you want to be outside and get some exercise. And as I got older, they just kind of next level, do
Mm,
bigger and deeper in the woods ones, or they don't even need to be deep in the woods, just any hike. Yeah, anywhere. I love them
mm.
all. But yeah, I'd say
So,
after my
do you
teens.
have a favorite hike though, like trail?
Um, Um, I don't think I have some favorite areas that are just quick go-tos that
Mm,
aren't necessarily my favorite because of any one reason, but just if I need to get outside and get a nice salty air, um, I go to Eastern Passage a lot. It's beautiful. It's next to the ocean.
mm.
Um, Keji has a hemlock trail that might be one of my favorite trails to walk. It's got boardwalks, and just hemlock trees are massive and beautiful and so tall. And you feel like you're in an enchanted forest when you're walking through. It's beautiful,
Nice.
and lots of birds.
Even though you don't know which bird is which. But okay, so you said the real adventure thing really started when you met your partner. How did you guys meet, and like how did you start, I guess, well, let's start with how did you guys meet first?
We met through a mutual friend. A mutual friend wanted us to meet because they knew both of our lifestyles, and she kept telling me, and then her partner kept telling Chris, like, you need to meet each other. And then we finally did. And yeah, that was 5.5 years ago, maybe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow. Was it like, did you go on a hike for your first date or what?
actually, yes, we did. We did. We went to the valley and we went for a hike. Yeah, we did. Oh no, we went snowboarding.
Oh,
We
okay.
went
More
snowboarding.
interesting.
Second date
Yeah.
was a hike. Yeah. Yeah.
Holy smokes. Yeah. Had you like been snowboarding for long before you met, or
Yes. Yeah.
okay?
And he makes fun of me. He doesn't like snowboarding. He's a skier. So when I said I'll meet him there with my snowboard, he was like, "Is snowboarding still a thing?"
The answer is always yes, because, like, I mean, yeah, a lot of people do it. And I think snowboarding is kind of cooler than skiing. I tried skiing once. I'm never doing that again. No, it's not nice. I went with my family to New York, and then I was like, oh, there's a hill nearby. Let's go try it. And I was like, okay, fine, I'll try it. Went. So there's this thing you get on, right? It's like like it just rolls you up to the hill, and then it was not nice. And then the person was like trying to teach you, and then they're like, you have to keep like that, the skis like that to
Pizza.
move. No.
Mm-hmm.
I just went straight down and I kept falling down. I was like, no, this is first off, the very first thing is the boots, right? Like human beings should not have to do that to their legs. Like you put your legs in that thing and your leg is like, I'm not moving at all. I mean, I understand that it kind of keeps your leg in a place. So if you fall, your leg, your bones won't shatter. I understand that. But at the same time, like my feet, my legs should be able to do most of okay. So we put on the boots and then put it in the skis and no, I'm not doing that again. Thank you very much. It's cool to watch though. It's really cool to watch.
Yeah, it is super fun. But yeah, the boots are really stiff. Snowboarding, I find a lot more fun.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's what I should have tried. You have a wider base, and you kind of can maneuver a little bit better. Although when you watch people skiing, man, it's like that looks cool. And the thing about me, I know I keep saying I won't do it. Maybe next minute I'll try it again. Who knows? Anyway,
You should.
so you guys went skiing, and then but like one thing I noticed, especially on your Instagram, is like your son is in pretty much every time you go out, right? So how long were you together? How old is your son, and when did you start taking him out?
He is 8 months old,
Oh.
and pretty much from maybe 4 weeks old, I think. We took him to
Oh.
the beach, and then we just take him everywhere we go. We still live as if we're just going out. We just have this extra little human to
One
think
person,
of.
yeah.
Hmm.
How does he find it though? Like,
He's a funny baby. He doesn't show much emotion. Unlike
oh.
his parents, we are smiling often, and you know how we're feeling usually. But
Yeah.
when he's outside, he's serious. Even if I took him skateboarding, like I sat down on the skateboard and just rolled around with him,
Mhm.
and he's just serious face. We think he loves it.
Well, very soon you'll be able to, speak
I think
and
he
stuff.
will. Yes.
And they'll be like, yeah, let's do this, let's do that.
Yeah.
But, also think, as with anything, when you start a kid young in that thing, they might not like it, but as long as they keep doing it and they find fun pockets in it, they'll keep doing it, and then it just becomes what we do.
Exactly.
So yeah. And then let's talk about your Instagram. How did that happen? When did you start putting things up, and how did grow that community?
I was late to Instagram. I didn't I didn't see the point of it at the beginning because I had Facebook and I thought that's where you posted your life events. And then
Yeah.
a friend had said you would love Instagram because it's just the photos. You don't hear all the comments of everyone and people's stories or whatever. Anyway, so I had gone on, and it was less. I feel like it was less talking way back. It was just a brief comment of what your picture was about, and that was it. And it's since evolved to people's stories come along with it, and um, recommendations and suggestions for things, and it's lovely. I
Mm,
love it. Um, but growing the community has just been a slow, natural process. It's just been me sharing my outdoor adventures and um, people enjoying where I'm going and get ideas on. I'd like to think that it's inspiring people to get outside. I mean, last time
mm.
you and I even talked, you said you might go camping.
Yeah. I know. Thought about, but like when it's warm, not
Hmm.
like. I mean, yesterday was a really good day though. Went on a walk, not a hike, on a walk. So,
Same, same.
yeah. There you go. And then with I think for me the pictures are great, but for me, what really stands out about your posts are the captions. How do you come up with those, and like how do you decide what you're gonna share?
Again, it's a pretty natural, just I'm very real. So if yesterday we went on an amazing hike and Hutton actually loved it and finally smiled or something, I would share that because that's a moment in my life that's amazing. So
Mm,
I tend to just try and share my real thoughts and experiences on there. And I
mm,
think that that's gained some followers, I think, because I follow all real people that are going to speak the truth, even if it may not be the best. Um, yeah.
yeah, and good thing you mentioned that may not be the best things, because like there's some times you share like heavy captions, um and I know you're being real though, but like, do you ever think, okay, maybe I shouldn't put this up, or it's like, this is me, I'm just gonna put it anyway?
I'm I'm a very open book. My partner sometimes will be like, "Wow, did you mean to say all that?" And but I'm an open book and I don't have if it was to ever cause any friction with anyone, then I would think about maybe bringing it down a notch or something. But I do speak
Mm,
how I truly feel and real experiences. And if I'm recommending something, it's because I truly feel it's amazing. Or if I'm having a down day, I want to share that. And because I know everyone does. And
mm.
Instagram highlights, a lot of Instagrams highlight the best. So um, yeah, there we don't put a picture of ourselves crying very often or like those off days. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
guess
yeah.
yeah, I just want to
And
keep it
I
real.
think for me, when you put those things up, it's like, it even makes you more human, right? Because like, you have this life where you get to go out and do the things you want, but then there are days where everything is not all sunshine and rainbows. So
Exactly.
it's great that, personally for me, when you put those things up, it's like, okay, this is a human being, and this is what they are going through on this day at this moment. And yeah, I understand them, I feel where they are coming from. So personally, those ones, like, they grip me. And I guess I'm not that brave yet, because like, I don't put any of those type of things on my Instagram, but maybe someday. Maybe
Well, it makes
someday.
you feel connected. Like I feel like it connects you
Mm,
to someone, just like these podcasts. when you're having an open conversation, you feel connected, and it lets you get to meet other humans that are going through different experiences, and how did they get there? And yeah, I just like being real, and I like following real.
Yeah, no, that is something I really admire about you and about your Instagram. But one thing, though, with the stand-up paddle thing, how do you not fall? That's that's what always comes to mind. I mean, like, how do you not fall, man? Like,
You
talk
can.
me through it.
You can fall.
Exactly. Yeah, there you go.
And it's not a bad thing to fall into water, unless you're
Fair
terrified
enough.
of water. But yeah, it's not a bad thing. Usually the people that fall in, once they've fallen, they're now over the fear of falling in, because everyone would jump into a lake. So it's not, you have this like, oh my goodness, I'm on a board, so I can't fall in. But if you were on land, you would have jumped in. It's just it's your mental thought process of being on that board. You feel like you'd fail if you fall off of it or something, but you don't. It's just part of the fun, and it's balance. It's a lot of core. And yeah.
How did you get into that, though?
That was the funniest interaction, actually, because my partner, his office was connected to SUP'ing, which was a stand-up paddleboarding company. And when I looked at his Instagram, because I wanted to find out more about his company, it was all pictures of his dog. And I was like, oh, well, he didn't teach me anything by looking at his Instagram. I should take over his Instagram. And anyway, so I had approached him and said, can I do your Instagram in trade for going out on the boards? Can you teach me how to get out there? And as soon as he did, he gave me a board and took me out once, and I was hooked ever since and took tons of photos, and I took over his Instagram account so that I could make it business-like.
Yeah.
And yeah, the rest is history. I then did sunset tours and firework tours, and yeah, it's super fun. And you can choose if you want to be with people or if you want to go out there and be alone and just lay on the board and soak up. It's the best.
How do you plan those tours?
How do you what?
How do you plan the sunset
the
tours or
tours.
the firework tours? Yeah.
It's just the sunset. We looked at what time the sun was setting each night, and then I think in the summer it sets around like 8:45 or something. So we would start the adventure around 8 and then loop around Lake Micmac. And by the time we got around one of the islands, the sun would be setting and the sky would be bright colors, and yeah. And then it wouldn't be dark.
How long would they last for, the tours?
2 hours ish.
Wait, are they on the board all that time?
You are, yeah.
That is tiring, though.
But you're not hardcore paddling the entire, like, it's not, you're not hustling out to get to the sunset. It's a relaxing paddle your way out. Some people might get in for a little dip, and if you go out as a group, you're chit-chatting and you just slowly go out, scope everything out. And then once the sun sets, then you just start to head back, and it's still light enough that it's not too scary for any of the new paddleboarders.
Yeah. What's the most people you've had in a group?
Wow, I think we had 20 maybe for a fireworks tour.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
Yeah, and that was a lot. We needed multiple guides. For that.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Like, so, but like, as one guide, you do you have like a certain number of people you can just have in your group?
I think we had 5 per leader.
Per guide. Oh, okay.
It may have gone even to 7. I can't remember what we had, but it was just enough that you can look back and see, or look to your side and look back and see, make sure everyone's still standing and with you.
Yeah. Keep a
number count.
Oh, 5. Oh, wait. Where's the one person? Okay. And then what is a plugger though? Because like that's on your bio too. I'm like, what is it?
What is which? Oh, plogging.
Yeah.
That is picking up litter while jogging. So while you're out for a jog or exercise of
Yeah.
any sort, you just pick up litter.
Yeah. So like, are you so there was a couple of days back. I think it was on Earth Day. I think. I
Yes.
think.
Yep, it
Yeah.
was.
And you was that kind of what you were doing that day?
Yep. I mean,
Oh.
picking up I so it started in Europe and
Hmm.
and Back to the Sea is a not-for-profit here that's their mission is to get a permanent touch tank so that we
What was that?
can so you'd be able to hold and feel and look at marine life to know what's in our waters surrounding this area.
Oh.
And anyhow, to fundraise to get to their goal, they had a plogging challenge, and that's where I learned of it initially. And then to do that, it was to raise money. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, we picked up tons of litter, and we
Hmm.
raised a lot of money for Back to the Sea.
Oh, nice, nice. That's another thing that stands up about the things you do is like you have all this fun, but sometimes or some of the things you do like this plugging thing, it's to give back, and the one you're doing or just recently is the Ride for Cancer. Won't you wanna tell me a little bit more about that?
The Ride for Cancer is a 100K. You can choose your distance, and I don't know what the other options are, but a friend of mine that I used to work with, she said I should do it, but I always volunteered on the other side of it. I've never done the actual cycling part.
Hmm.
So this year will be different. And yeah, we just raised $1,000 per team member, and we have 8 members on our team. So it'll be $8,000. And yeah, it's a wonderful cause. Cancer touches every one of us. We all know someone that has had it. And
Mm.
um, yeah, it's an important one.
Yeah. Um. Okay, so you it's you're going to actually cycle for 100 Ks.
Mhm.
How are you training for? Are you doing any training for that, or is just something you can get on your bike and do?
There will be training, yes. And I've just been getting on my bike and biking around right now. I will have to start doing some bigger missions to get my legs ready for a longer haul, but I'm fairly active on my bike anyhow. So
Hmm.
it will take a lot of training, yes. But I feel confident in just pedaling around for now since we're not allowed to go very far. So,
Mm,
yeah.
mm. Yeah, we're not allowed to go very far because of COVID. So that's
Hmm.
the next thing I want to touch on. And like living the lifestyle you live, you go out a lot, right? We're now in what, lockdown 3, I think.
Yes.
Um, what are some things you had to adapt for each lockdown in your
Um,
lifestyle?
I mean, I remember the first lockdown I was pregnant. So I felt too gross to go very far anyway. So we just did mini adventures. We would just go close to home, and luckily we have some woods and we're near a lake. There's there's walking paths around where we live, so we
Mhm.
could just choose our distance, and that's how we've basically adapted. Anytime that there's a lockdown, we just make sure we get out somewhere close by.
Mm.
Yeah. And we're only allowed in our communities now, so I've been just scoping out new places to kind of, when I'm out for a bike ride, see if there's any hidden trails anywhere that we can just scope out while also being safe.
Wait, when you bike, do you go with Hudson too?
Do I go?
With your son too?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
We don't have proper equipment for him yet, but we're very eager to get him the little wagon that trails
Which one
behind
is
or
better? Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Which one is better? The one with the child in front,
seat.
or the one like with the seat at the back?
Yeah, I don't know. I have no
Yeah.
idea. I think that I would like the wagon better, but I think that would be a bumpier ride for him. So I'm not sure. I would like to be able to look back at him easily, but him on the ground, I just have to be very cautious of where I'm biking, I guess. But I have no idea. We'll find out soon.
Oh God. You mentioned this and there was it was so wrong, but this guy, he's a prankster. He puts like a doll in the back wagon and then he cycles like a crazy person where
Oh,
people
I've
are
seen
watching and
that.
yeah, people are freaking out. But it's not a real baby. But like
Yeah,
people are freaking out. Like, why would you do this? And yeah, yeah,
I saw
yeah,
that. He goes like insane mountain biking.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Okay, so you've lived this life where you had this relationship where you still got with your dad and now your partner, now your son. Um, how do you decide, with all these different adventures you do, how do you decide what you're gonna do when? Does the seasons play any role?
Mm, the seasons play a role in gear, obviously. But where we want to go, not always. Because if you have the proper gear, you can still hike those same trails that you hiked in the summer. Just you may need, like, if you know a lot of water is around, so ice might be there in the winter, you'd want to make sure you have the right footwear. Um, yeah, no, not
Yeah,
really.
so yeah, let's talk about gear then, right? What is your go-to gear for summer and for winter when it comes to hiking?
Um, Both, I would just say tons of layers, like making sure that because even in the summer months, it does get cold. So if you did a sunset hike, say, it can get down to 2 degrees or whatever. And so layering. So if you go out with shorts and a t-shirt, making sure that in your pack you have pants and longer layers and maybe a hat, mitts,
Mm.
because if you're out there, I don't know if you heard about the woman in the valley that went for a hike and she got turned around and she was out in the wilderness for 2 or 3 nights.
What
Um,
happened? Oh no, I didn't.
she got lost, and
Holy shit.
and it's an easy thing to do, but it kind of pushed that point across. I had made a post about that too, that when you go for a hike, to make sure you tell people where you're going, at least one person, and two, to make sure that you have a hike pack that has things in it, food, water, and extra clothes.
Extra clothes? Well, yeah,
Just
if you
the
get
layers.
lost.
Yeah, like if you went out with shorts and a t-shirt, you want to make sure you have a hoodie and some socks or extra socks, some mitts, a toque, whatever, in case it gets chillier, if you get wet. um
So yeah, like you're just mentioning that it's pretty easy to get lost. Is it like, because yeah, I only go on those trails where it's really marked out. This is where you
mhm.
go, but like once you get off, that's kind of where the fun really is, though. So how do you with all the experience you have, kind of know where you've been and how to get back to your car or wherever you started from?
I think we are pretty good with sticking to marked trails, or if we are um adventuring a new place, we just make sure to do the research. And I mean, I'm sure everyone does the same thing. It is super easy to just think and you go in and you think that's the same tree you just passed or whatever. Um, but we use our Google Maps, which again, a charger is very essential to have in your hike pack, a, a battery, a solar or a battery pack,
Oh.
because using your cell phone as a compass is helpful also. But we do normally stick to marked trails also.
So one day I went, I can't remember. I think maybe it was Truro. Well, anyway, someplace. and then I'm walking down, and then there's a sign that says, like beware of bears and stuff. I'm like, fuck this. Like I'm trying to get into this whole hiking thing, and now I have to like be worried that a fucking bear might attack me. Do you want to talk me through that? Like, okay, so what happens? Like, will they run after you or what?
If you run, yes. So don't run away.
So you just stand still?
Well, so I've never encountered a bear, luckily. But what I've learned from different courses is that you make yourself seem bigger than the animal. So
you'd have to make massive.
You'd have to make a lot of really loud noises, and I sometimes even will go on later in the night hikes, and I have to carry a stick with me, just for me to feel safe. I don't know what I would do with it, but it makes me feel safe. So, yeah, I don't know how many people have come in contact with bears during a hike, but I guess knowing that they're not on the prowl to eat a human, they're just, if you're in their area and they had young nearby or something, they're in protective mode. And if you start running, their thought process isn't like, oh, they're running away from me because they're scared. They're thinking they're going to try and get my babies or something. So they're going to come after you.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah, I remember seeing that song and thinking, what the fuck?
Where were you?
So,
where was this hike path that had...
I don't... Either it was somewhere in Truro or it was somewhere in... I can't remember though. It's like 2 years ago.
Okay.
It's like, fuck this. I'm out. Okay, so make sure you have your layers. And then with shoes, that's the other one that throws me off. Cause like, how do you decide what shoes to wear? First of all, they are super expensive, but it makes sense because they're protecting your feet, and you need your feet to do a lot of stuff. So, like, when it comes to shoes, how do you choose the shoes you wear when you go hiking?
It's kind of trial and error. You just got to test out which ones, and to be sure that you're testing out your hike boots before you go on the hike that you're wanting to go on. So wear them around the house, or wear them for a little walk around, because if you wait until your hike to wear them, you might get blisters and think that they're terrible, but it's just that you didn't break them in yet. So warming them up for your big hikes. I personally love Keen hike boots. They have amazing ankle support. They're very comfortable, and they're very durable and very good grips. But again, it just takes buying certain brands, trying them out, and you start to love a certain kind.
Okay. Yeah. And then get your solar battery pack. So you always have to hike with a bag, pretty much?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yes.
Okay. And then when you say carry food, like what type of food? Like snacks or like actual food?
Snacks, unless you're planning on camping, but snacks like granola bars, we always have made with local bars in our bags. Those are just locally made granola bars, and an apple, or easy to tote, not too heavy, won't smush. Like I've brought a couple bananas, and if you're sitting often or whatever, it's just going to get squished.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, some water, lots of water, and snacks. And you want to pack.
How big is your water bottle though? Like, does the hike, the length of the... Oh, okay, there we go. Was that like 2 liters? 1 liter? I don't know.
Yeah, I think this is 2 liters. Yeah.
Yeah. It's massive.
Or 1. It might be 1 liter. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, and then like, here's the thing though. so on a hike, it's you finish your water bottle, like you can't refill it. I don't think there are taps on the trail. What do you do?
We
Like if you
haven't
get really thirsty, yeah?
we haven't really needed, other than a camping trip. I mean, if you're going for a hike, usually that would be plenty of water,
Okay.
unless you were to get turned around again, or if you were to go camping and you need water for a couple of days.
Mm.
Um, we do have a water filter, and so you
Oh,
can
okay.
you can put a tube into a stream um, or
Right.
a body
So
of
like
water.
as you just pour it in, it filters right away, or does it have to sit or something?
It goes into a little, um, I don't know what you would call it, but yeah, it filters into a little pack, and then you wait for that to do its thing, and then you put it in your water bottle.
Huh,
Yeah,
man.
they're very
You
good to
know,
have.
I think you mentioned a course, right? Like what our course is this?
When I worked at Department of Natural Resources, there were just some wildlife um, informative courses,
Oh,
but there are, I think the trail shop is wanting to put on some survival workshops.
yeah.
They sometimes did with A for Adventure, actually, they did a mapping course to kind of know how to read maps and learn how to use compasses. And so, yeah, I think a survival one um, would be coming up next, probably. I've been
Yeah, that's
suggesting
something
it.
I think I'll take. You know, it's like every time I talk to you, you make it seem so easy than it really is. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'll try. But like, I think as with everything I do, I'm just gonna start small. Like I started small, just like, hikes around a lake, cause like, at least you just have to do a circle. You get to the other side. So that's fine. But the thing I guess in my head, if someone is like a trail is 5 kilometers or whatever, it's actually 10 because you have to go back, right? So you do 5 here and then you have to do 5 the other way. So like I'm thinking one day it would be nice, like if I had it a car waiting at the end of the 5, so I so I don't have to go back. But like, yeah, okay.
Starting small is
Jen,
good, though. That's good. I think that's what you should be doing, starting small. And some trails do say 5K and mean it. They do mean that it is two and a half one way, two and a half back.
oh,
Some
okay,
do
all
mean
right.
that, yes.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah. Like I said, every time I talk to you, I'm like, I want to hike. But I want to say thank you so much for coming to the sanctuary today, and
Thank
for
you.
sharing, and for raising with your team, all this money you are raising for cancer. Because like you said, yes, everyone knows of someone, or probably have experienced like cancer themselves. So thank you for that. And yeah, thank you for making adventuring sound fun and not like you're trying to chill yourself. But and again, thanks for coming to the sanctuary, Jen.
Thank you so much. It's real.